They'll be calling you a radical. I'm going to talk about the oily substance, the so-called buckyballs that have been washing up in Southern California, because I know what they are. I could factually prove it. And all these marine biologists and all these people that are supposed to protect us, Cal Berkeley marine biologists, Southern California, saying, I protested on every campus. I've been at every marine biologist. I've been on every single pier since this happened. I know exactly for a fact what they are. Mystery goo, which appeared 2 months ago in the San Francisco Bay. As I'm walking, I walked from Pismo all the way up. I saw them. I talked to rangers. I talked to people. I videoed them. I talked to them and I says, hey, you know, and they says, oh, we've been ordered to pick them up. 2013, I know for a fact what they are. 2013, I'm at the USS Reagan trial, trying to get interviews with the Navy, trying to get the Navy and the Marines, and I'm connected with the Marines, the atomic veterans. I have connections there because of San Onofre, my fight, my path. I'm there every day. I've been on every square inch of that ocean. As these, with no money, not a penny. As these marine biologists, now they want to use the word ecocide. By the way, I will sue you. You try using that, you marine biologists. Because by the way, when these mobs turn, all the marine biologists, all these so-called ecologists that draw government dime, that get money, they're the first ones that need to be hung. And this is going to come apart. I'll tell you what it is. And I've been told this to my face. The so-called private aquariums, which they're not private, they all get federal funding. It's just like Berkeley tries to say, oh no, we got a bunch of private money. So even Stanford, we know, it's been proven, 90% of all their funding comes from the taxpayer. So they've told me right to their face, they won't go on interviews. The Navy is using a disbursement. They're using a disbursement on the Pacific Ocean. They've told me right to my face, they've been using it since Fukushima happened. It's part of the cover-up plan of Fukushima. I know for a fact, I can prove it. They're using a disbursement on the Pacific Ocean to try to contain the cesium from Fukushima. Now they can't possibly contain the plutonium. You think I'm crazy? And I don't know this. This is a fact. This is a hardcore fact. The nuclear industry uses well over 200. Now you heard me right. 200 PR firms. For instance, you type in Fukushima breaking news, which I own the copyright on that, which I'm going to sue these rats. You go to a guy and they place these PR firms, place these so-called fake YouTubers, go right to the top, and then you go to the site and he shows Bigfoot. But who really are the problem here? The marine biologists. The so-called, they're there to protect us. And I want people to very much understand this. It's just like the debt. And you're so far removed, the American taxpayer. My grandchildren just got back from Southern California. And I told my daughters point blank, you do not let my grandchildren on the beach. You understand me? They are not to go near that beach. You hear me? Which you think about how sad that is. How sad that they've taken that. As a boy, that's where I grew up, on those beaches, you know, right there. It's the most joyous and spectacular thing for a child ever. You know, it turned me into the environmentalist that I am. You take that away from our children, you take that away, and it's like, oh, the taxpayer, they just print money, they just do whatever. Look, I want people to very much understand. You think somehow you're far removed. That's our money. That is the taxpayer money. The handout they gave to the bankers, which is $45,000 for every man, woman, children. You think about that. That's your money. The debt belongs to you, the taxpayer, the California taxpayer. These people are drawing your tax money. The marine biologists, so-called scientists, these people that are, this Diaz that goes on television, where are these rats been the whole time? They're the first, and I very much equate this to the influenza plague of 1918 in California. San Francisco is being a new baby there, all over right here. You do know they tried to cover that up. The marine biologists, the scientists, the so-called academians tried, on the advice of the federal government, not to cause panic, just like they're doing right now. Barry Antoinette, let them eat. I have the transcript from inside the situation. John Holden, Cal Berkeley, on your money. When the mobs finally woke up and turned, they hung those people. They hung them. The first ones that need to be hung are the marine biologists, the scientists. They've said, oh, my colleagues and I have just said, there's a study coming, oh, it's a horrible I mean, look, I've done the greatest PhD in American tour. The greatest PhD opportunity was Fukushima in probably American history. I did it. I did it. While in critical condition, while fighting for my life in a bone marrow transplant, I've been on every single, I've walked that entire coast. Videos to prove it. I've been on every single inch of that ocean, all the way from San Diego to above San Francisco, every square inch over the last 3 periods. The last path I went was from Pismo to San Francisco. Saw the divers starving to death. Told by rangers, told by marine biologists, none of them will do an interview with me. which it's against the law to do an interview with somebody without their permission. So, you know, I don't want my YouTube site to go down because that, I mean, they've been picking them up the whole time. They says, yeah, they've been coming on here for months. The mystery goo in San Francisco. And then, don't you think it's, I mean, think about this. You know, I'm like, I could smell death. Here come all the dead whales, the starving dead mama sea lions, the sardines, all the blobs, you know, and then we're always going to get back to you. Oh, yeah, the scientists are testing, and they never get back. I've been told to my face by all these Marines, it's at Scripps. We protest it. Lori, and, you know, Lori makes up tuna fish sandwiches. We stand out at Scripps. Here, okay, then if it's safe here, will you eat that? I mean, they just, because it's serfdom, it's free money. It's your money. It's your money. Don't you understand this is your money? The California Marine Biologists at San Diego State, at USC, at UCLA, at Cal Berkeley, in Monterey, the Monterey Aquarium, all of them, every one of them, I've talked to every one of them, they're federally funded, state funded, and that's another thing. The tourism industry is going to come apart. The Ponzi scheme that you've created through this globalist fake interest rate in California, that's all it is. You're living a facade in your own personal Ponzi scheme you've created through your real estate value. It's going to come apart. It's going to come apart. And then when it comes, because the only thing they had to prop up the tax base, the military-industrial complex through the police forces, is through property taxes. They're annihilating you. The buckyballs are chemical disbursement. I know for a fact. I can prove it. I've been told to my 2013 at the USS Reagan trial, trying to get interviews with the Navy through the Marines, chilling with my liaison through the Marines. I have a liaison through the Marines in their intel. I have a talking to them. Kevin, we know, you know, stationed in Okinawa. You know, they know, they're monitoring, they have the data, by the way, the Navy, and so does Berkeley have the data, and I know for a fact they have the data because I'm the guy that leaked a lot of the data out. The data that we have on the, Ken Buesler works for a PR machine called Woodholes. Woodholes is a propaganda PR machine in the nuclear industry. They have 200 of them. So I'm going to Vienna. And the reason I'm going to Vienna, the IAEA, don't you think it's an irony they're headquartered in Vienna? Now, why are they headquartered in here? Because Teller, who took the field, we forced Oppenheimer out, we forced the peace activist freaking Einstein out. Teller took the field, the Hungarian. He's the guy that freaking threw the, as they hijacked the UN, who's hijacked the UN, World Health Organization, the IAEA hijacked the UN. It's a fact, they hijacked it because he dropped dead, no royals, and turned it into royals. Why do they meet? And that's why it's in Vienna. And I think it's an incredible irony. My bloodline's traced to Austria, by the way, and I'll be there the 11th, and I'm going to protest in the zone. There's a zone protest there. I'll be there every day, all day, because they're meeting what they call WIN, which is going to be the head of the snake, the evil of the evil, which is Luz, who they conspired to kill you. I mean, it's outrageous. The nuclear industry, boiling water in the mother's heart at Diablo Canyon. Oh, that doesn't change the ocean. Boiling water, San Onofre, you know, 50, 60 years of San Onofre freaking of nuclear waste piled up in a place that can't handle it, on a cliff, in earthquake zones. What's Fukushima? So I'm out there in 2013, and I'm interviewing. Hey, yeah, Kevin, we know we have the freaking, we can't go on. We've been told to stand down from the highest level. I mean, the Marine 5-star says it. He's the one that outed freaking Obama's secret program. You know, he's the one that outed it. Look, I cannot overstate this. The Navy 5-star inside the Situation Room, and we proved this through FOIA. I reported early because people were leaking stuff to me. I have the transcript from the Situation Room. I cannot forward it. They'll Aaron Swartz me, it's against the law, and I'm not going to freaking, because we have the law on our side. I'm going to do this. I'm a peace activist. You know, and so, but these people are going to be hung. The Marine biologists, whatever, so they're Kevin. We have the data. The Navy has the data. They wanted him to tomb immediately. Now, Gregory Jacko resigns. Gina McCarthy, head of RadNet. They all come out of the MIT on the government dime, on your taxpayers' money. Holden's paid by you. All these people are paid by you, the taxpayer, the marine biologists that have stood down, the PR machines that are coming and attacking people like me, whatever. By the way, it's against the law to attack a guy in critical condition like I was. Yet they still do it. You know, and I'm doing it over and over and over. Kevin, we have the data. It's a catastrophe. You're right. They have no answer. So their decision was to push into the Pacific Ocean. After I hammered over today, I got leukemia 7 months out. I'm an AML leukemia survivor. Nobody survives AML. It's so rare to survive AML without a bone marrow. I'm the first one they know of in the world. I got into this in cutting edge, incredible hospital to save my life. You know, and I've done this activism with no money, by the way. You know, thank you to the few people that have sponsored my activism and what I've been able to do. These people have told me straight up, they're using a chemical disbursement. The mystery goo, remember the mystery goo killing the bird so-called 2 months ago, 3 months ago in California? Oh, we'll get right back to you. They don't get me because the feds move in and tell them to stand down. I've been told this right to my face multiple times. And these people have these cushy lives in their real estate level. You know, their Ponzi scheme they've created through the academia world. You know, and they, oh, I'm a scientist, and then they, you know, they don't do anything. They're rats. They should be hung. I mean, it's outrageous because we don't ask for responsibility in our tax dollars anymore. We stopped doing that. People don't even show up. I mean, it's all your money. They're extraordinary, and they get paid. They have these comfortable jobs. They're making 200 grand a year, these marine biologists in California and Oregon and Washington. These, you know, Kathleen Higley works right for the IEA. Look it up. Look it up. You know, the Western Initiative of Nuclear extorting you. This is all extortion. It's criminal. And yet these people go along. These so-called people need to be, where have they been since Fukushima? Where's Greenpeace? Greenpeace, I got in a physical confrontation on the pier at Huntington Beach with the head of Greenpeace. He told me that I was raising my voice. I says, I remember when you used to raise your voice. They told me straight up, Helen Caldicott's told me right to my face. Fukushima scares our freaking investors. They use the word investors. They're not freaking anti-nuclear. And I want to say this about the MoMA. I'm the guy that started this protest that broke out yesterday at the MoMA through the employees, and I can prove this. As we protested, I have plenty of witnesses. We went inside on Free Fridays. I'm wearing one of my skins on my shirt, you know, my thing, whatever. They have a rule in there. You can't advertise as, you know, you can't use your own art as competing in the art. So I told the one main guy, African-American guy, I told him, what are you talking about? Look at that tie you have on. Look at that belt buckle. You know, you're probably more contemporaries modern art than anything the old MoMA, which is the new whorehouse shows. So I have friends that work there, and I'm telling them, you know, what they're doing to you is uncharted, it's illegal, the old MoMA. They broke out a protest, you know, in symphony with our protest that we did there February 27th, which is a powerful piece of art. I mean, incredible piece of art. My activism, again, everything that I've done most of this while in critical condition. The PhD that I'm here to tell you, I saw buckyballs all up and down the ocean. Dead mama sea lions, dead alkalis all over. How can they tell from their academia glass pillar tower that they stand in? They don't do any work. They're lazy. It's serfdom. They should be hung. These people need to go to prison. The marine I've protested at San Diego State. I protested at every one of these universities. I protested at every marine biology department. I've talked to them. They won't talk to me. I mean, I have people walking up to me in the Monterey Aquarium. I slept under the bridge with the exploited migrant workers at Monterey Bay. I've witnessed this catastrophe, the Pacific genocide, which I own the copyright. I own the copyright to a lot of these. You know, you want to use it, you pieces of shit, because you wouldn't do the work. I did the work. I did the work with no money. I mean, I think it's an incredible irony. You people need to be hung. I know for a fact these balls that are washing up are that because what it is, there's a petroleum-based disbursement that they use that encapsulates and say, don't touch them. And they say they're flesh-eating. Oh, you damn right they're flesh-eating. They're evil. Because it's, as you know, I've named it FU Fuktonium. Fuktonium. You know I named it FU Fuktonium. People can't get that and understand in their head because Einstein told us, they all told us, this is going to cause nuclear fission off a meltdown, which we don't even understand. No one understands because it's never happened. Gamma rays. So the gamma rays are being contaminated and the synergistic effects from all the other pollution in that toilet that you in California don't give. I mean, you think about the California. I mean, first they come for the buffalo. Then they came for the giant sequoias, the oldest trees on earth. They cut them all down. The greatest, most spectacular geographical landscape in history. You know, on Mother Earth. You know, the Mother's Heart at Diablo Canyon. They cut them all down. They destroyed it. They killed Native Americans down to man, woman, and child. Stuffed the last one, put him in a cage. I was at, the day before I started my walk, in Teddy's house. I went right to the main curator. I says, look, I have the last wild Canadian, the last wild German, the last lying on it. I want them stuffed. These guys are willing participants. Ackerman, McCormick, Kevin Finnegan. I says, they're willing, Shane Russell, they're willing participants. They're willing to be put, because that's what we do. Look, you know how many endangered, well not endangered, extinct specimens are inside there in those cages. You know, Teddy's work. He knew they were all going away because he was one of them that's slaughtering them, and he had an enlightenment moment. He says, oh my God, what have I done? You know, so he overcompensates, tries to put it. They put live Indians in there, just like they used live skulls at Disneyland in the thing. That's a fact. I mean, the genocide, the Pacific genocide, I will quote my mentor, Wallace Stegner. Yeah, originally Stanford. He told Stanford to eat shit. Came here to the University of Utah. I was in his program at 16. I used to stand right in this square inch with Edward Abbey, the radical. You think I'm radical? I'm not. Wow, I mean, the greatest ecological catastrophe in the history of the earth unfolding. I'm the only one that reports it in actual boots on the ground freaking way. I've walked the entire thing. Wallace Stegner. If you think the Germans invented genocide, you know nothing about the American way. They stuffed them, put them in. So I'm like, here, I want it because we're all going, and Miko Kako, that fraud, go on TV, make some more money, is like we say. Oh, we'll be carrying around our virtual pets, whatever, because no one's willing to do the work. No one's connected to the earth. I mean, this genre, this art form of mine, which is I'm a carpenter, what's a hammer? I'm a baker, what's a cake? I'm an artist, what's post-ignorance? You know, I'm an American, what's revolution? I'm an American, what's a tariff? Economically, and as an activist, we've lost every fight because we have been disconnected from the earth. We have been disconnected from, you know, the natives that raised me, the Native Americans that raised me, you know, on this landscape. None of you own any of that real estate. You don't own California, and you could not even be the stewards of the greatest. You cut down the oldest tree on the face of the earth. Think about the guy who does that. I'll be there Friday, by the way. I'm going to do a really cool video, Patrick and I, at the site where he knowingly cut down the oldest living thing on earth. On the Utah-Nevada border. I'll be there Friday. We're going to do some special work out there because I'm willing to do the work, and I am heartbroken. I am heartbroken to watch this beautiful landscape that I grew up on because you rats thought you know, in the spirit of the great Rachel Carson, you know. First they come for the buffalo, I won't stop there. Then they come from the mighty redwoods, the oldest trees on earth, the greatest spectacular living things on earth. Cut them down, snappers, I won't stop there. Oil wells and Huntington Beach, slaughter the ecology of the beaches. Freaking, I won't stop there. Kill Native Americans, genocide man, woman, and child down to the last living soul. I won't stop there. Now they come, build a nuclear reactor, as the Chumash used to call it, the mother's heart. And name it the devil. Build a reactor on the most beautiful break in the world, on that beautiful beach that I grew up on at Pendleton, the Marines. My dad was there, human lab right in the Nevada test site, killed. On those beautiful beaches, I won't stop there. Now they come from the womb of all living things, the mighty Blue Lady. The greatest womb that was respected by cultures for thousands and thousands, if not millions and millions of years. This is the most evil, sickening generation of human beings in history. My work will stand the test. You know, you don't want to let me in the museums? What a compliment. What a compliment to be rejected in this freaking... I don't want to be one of you contemporary sickening masses. No, and I'm going to fight for her. You know, my little granddaughter gave me this blue rock. 2 years old. She didn't even know where she got it. It's a piece of space rock. I keep it in my pocket. For I fight for the mighty Blue Lady. She fights for me. Stay tuned.